I just had a question because you share a lot about like the information that you're able to provide us. But one thing that was really pivotal was how you talked about the mindset and the personality type that you have to have in order to like be willing to execute. So it just made me think of a question, and maybe the community can benefit from it too. But there's an excerpt in the beginning of the memo you mentioned vetting where you invest. And it says like to be open-minded, however, be smart enough to protect yourself from unuseful advice. So the question that I had was like, what experience created your ability to have that discernment? How can somebody apply it? And then how has it helped you thus far?
Man, so many losses. So many losses have gave me that mindset, bro, where I think experience is always going to be your best teacher. So from an educator's standpoint, there's only so much that I can teach people. There's only so much that I can put in a book, a course, a blog, a seminar, whatever. So for me, my best teacher was always going out there and doing and learning as I go and making those mistakes where it wasn't told to me, but I also, some of the things I didn't apply in the beginning of my career, I didn't apply a lot of common sense to it, because again, the information just wasn't readily available the way it is today. So you had to rely a lot on common sense or other people. But I think right now, in this market where information is at your fingertip, there's so much of it out there that it can confuse the hell out of you. And that's when that discernment has to kick in of what's common sense and what's not common sense and what sounds right and what doesn't sound right. So that way you don't make huge mistakes. So that's kind of what I was meaning in that excerpt that you wrote there, is you got to use your discernment. You can't be overwhelmed by the information. You got to have the mindset and the mind frame to kind of separate what's real and what's fluff. And if you do that, you're going to make less mistakes. You're still going to make mistakes regardless. You can't avoid them, but you'll make less mistakes. And then hopefully they'll be not that expensive.
Thank you.
To that. Yeah, great questions. Great questions. Any other questions?
That's a great question. Shout out to him 500 in the building.
Shout out to the brother, him 500. Welcome to the book club, bro. We are, man, this is dope. This is an amazing time. If you haven't done so, make sure that you tell a friend to tell a friend. You might want to gift a friend, someone in your community, someone who needs support, who keeps tapping on, your shoulder. You might want to gift them a membership to EYL University. What a great time to be alive and to share what you've have found as a resource and gems and jewels and relationships. Invite someone to the party.
So Tracy said, what happened to the Home Buyers Blueprint? The Home Buyers Blueprint is still active. You can have access to it. And Tracy, are you in the EYL University app now, the recession proof app? Because all the courses, I know the Home Buyers Blueprint was uploaded in there, and it still should be available in Kajabi as well. But you should definitely still have access to Home Buyers Blueprint Volume 1 and Volume 2, and I might do a Volume 3. I'm thinking about it.
Yo, classic material. Nothing but platinum and classic materials. Reminds me of the Rockefeller days when Volume 1, Volume 2, and then Volume 3. Come on, man. We dropping joints, man. Make sure you pick them up.
That's the inspiration.
Chandra, you have your hand up. We coming to you.
Peace. How are you? Sorry, I had to come off camera. I'm shoveling kids to a basketball practice, and I didn't want everybody to get the love. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you for what you guys do. It is not easy to be consistent. I appreciate you guys immensely. MG, I don't know if you remember, but you were a huge catalyst during the pandemic for me crossing that line early part of 2021 with my first investment property. And you just gave me so much love. I bought your blueprint, and I'm so happy for what's happening for you. I never want to miss an opportunity just to sow positive energy into anybody who's given in the way that you're given. I see you blossoming and doing amazing things, and I'm watching like many others are, and I'm grateful. In addition to that, I'm having this internal conversation with my person, about buying right now.
Oh, did we lose you? I think you hit the. Are you
6.75%? I bought at 2, looking like.
Oh, Sandra, you're going in and out. It sounds like.
So want to get an idea. I'm buying tiny properties, doing Airbnb, buying mobile home properties, so they're less expensive. Or maybe taking equity out of the home and buying using the equity in the home so I don't have to come out of pocket. Just, I don't know if any of the resources that you have talk more about those things, or if you want to shed any light or guidance in this call today that might help me.
So I'll tell you,
I'm looking to build a portfolio from where I am. I'm late in building. I need to get going again.
so you're not late. You're right on time, and everything happens in God's time, not yours. So that's first things first. Second
Amen.
thing, thank you for the flowers. I really appreciate you sharing that with me and everyone else. It's very important. I need to start like when y'all start doing this. I need to start like clipping that and like start putting that out there because I really don't like promote when people tell me these type of stories, and I get that kind of every day. So I really appreciate it.
Sure.
You saying that. And I would say I didn't really, you was going in and out, so I couldn't really hear what you were saying, but I got the gist of what you're asking me. If you have equity in your home, I would definitely recommend a home equity line of credit versus refinancing, especially if you have a low interest rate. I would do a home equity line of credit, but I will also caution you and tell you my disclaimer is always going to be, remember that is the house money, that is the church money. So don't mess up the church money.
Don't mess up the church money.
Make sure that you have a foolproof plan of action. So that way, when you do borrow from your home, your primary residence's equity, you can deploy that capital into cash flowing assets that can repay that debt and still provide you some sort of cash flow. So I'm a fan of doing that only if you have all your ducks in a row. Now, in terms of what you want to invest in, your investment strategy, that is on you to determine, not me. Whether you want to do mobile homes, Airbnb, peer spaces, long-term rentals, fix and flips, I think you guys have to determine what works for you, because not everything's going to work for everybody. Like I'm not going to sit here and do fix and flips because I'm not a flipper. Will I invest in a fix and flip with a seasoned flipper? Yes. But will I want to do that project on my own? No. I'm comfortable in the long-term landlord space where I can hire property managers because that's just a lane that I've invested in pretty much for my entire investing career. Mm-hmm. So I don't really, for me, I'm really cut and dry, black and white. I don't look at a lot of these new things and say, hey, I got to jump on this one. I got to jump on this. I got to jump on this because it makes money. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of stick to my lane and I just want to be great in that lane. And if there's opportunities peaking other things, then great. But for me, it's just being a landlord long term. I need to know what money I'm getting every single month. Like I don't want to sit here and guess. I'd rather my money make babies every single month consistently versus me trying to go through the ups and downs and the swings of it. But that's just me personally. That's great wisdom, great guidance, but it's also great practical life advice, right? Like stay in your lane. I tell students that all the time. I tell people that all the time. Your lane is meant for you, and what you're doing in that lane is important enough for you and those who are driving with you. When you stop, like in traffic, when you start hopping around and driving into lanes, you are bound for an accident. And an accident can be casual. It can destroy everything that you built. Stay in your lane. Know who you are. It's like even in the stock market. If you're not a trader, then don't get into places that you know is very, very tumultuous and dangerous for you. Know your lane and know your speed. I appreciate you saying that because that's important, because things are enticing. Once you see someone else's success, you might want to do that and replicate that, but that's not you. Your mindset is built different. You are someone who has to work, or someone who gets it, or someone who doesn't get it, but you got to know who you are. Or your identity can shift real quick.